Hey, everybody. How are you? My name is David Ruff. I'm coming to you today, and it's a sad day. We lost our queen today. I'm not sure when this is going to go out, but I have her up here on this money 20-pound note. We also have her on the back here. It's a sad day, you guys. She's been my queen for my entire life, and I can't imagine any other world without her. But today we're going to be talking about what tips that we can learn from the queen as we try to figure out what this mess is going to be from an economy point of view and what she actually taught us. I got some really interesting articles. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. All right, you guys, let's jump into the articles of the day. If we jump into our first article, you guys, we are looking at some economic problems. Our economic problems, if we look in Sweden, if you go to Bloomberg, Sweden is getting ready for its biggest rate hike this century. They are looking at putting a monumental 1% or 0.75% increase in the interest rates, which is monumental for Sweden. Okay, so if we go to the next one, we can look at Open Door. How is the United States going? Open Door, as everybody knows, in the past 2 years, have been this thing called iBuyers. You've probably heard of it, like Zillow, Open Door. They're now moving to Canada as well, where you can go online, type in your address, and instantaneously they're going to have this little number next to your home and say, this is how much they're going to pay for your home. If we look at it, this company was hailed as the Amazon of homes, and it went public in 2020. Now, what was the results of that? It says here, Open Door was a home flipping site, and is probably regretting his bulk order for subway tiles and do-it-yourself laminate floors. The company lost, get this, 42% on its of its resales in August. It lost money. The company that rode the first wave of the real estate iBuying, so that's the all online digital brokerage, a way to automate real estate purchases. You guys, this is kind of a funny thing because remember, we all thought that this was going to be the wave of the future, but this isn't the first time this happened. In 2004, 5, 6, 7, leading up to the GFC, the Great Financial Crisis, all of these online brokerages started popping up saying it's that easy, right? As soon as the market tipped over, guess what happened? They all went bankrupt, and they ended up going back to people they trust, people with skills. At the end of the day, people need people with skills. They don't necessarily need an algorithm that can't tell them what the value of the home is. Remember, algorithms only know the information that they're fed. They don't know that the house maybe had somebody get murdered in it. Didn't mean to go dark so fast, but something bad, or that there was a flood, or that there was black mold. It doesn't know that it is a huge 3-bedroom versus a 5-bedroom. It doesn't know how many square feet. It doesn't know if you recently remodeled something. So my point is, it doesn't know any of the pluses or any of the minuses. It's just very calculate driven, but that's why they have to send somebody in to come look at it, right? Generally speaking, they generally give you somewhere around 11% less than what it's worth to make it an easy transaction for you. So they never were going after the mass market. They were going after the people who are desperate to sell within a day or two. All right, so let's get back into what Open Door is. They make fast offers on homes with an algorithm. They do a light reno and then resell it sometimes a few months later, which is part of the problem with these guys. So these companies, we have to always be careful with them because I hear about them all the time. Well, why aren't you going to buy this house? So I'll go in and I'll say, well, the home is worth $1 million. And they say, well, David, I want you to buy it for $1 million. And I'm like, they're like, the other properties, the other places, the other companies will offer to buy it from us within, 2 weeks, and they'll just pay cash for it. Yes, but they charge 11%. So they're going to charge you $110,000 to do that. But you see, most people don't get that far. All they know is how many days it's going to take, how much money. They don't know how much money it's going to cost yet, just how many days. So that's what they want somebody like myself to do, or another brokerage to do, for example. So they kind of want their cake and eat it too. So remember, this is a key to life. I'm going to give you a little hint. You can add anything you want: fast, cheap, or done well. You can have 2 of those 3 things always, but you can never have all 3. So that's what I try and tell everybody. Just pick what you want. If you want it fast and done right, it's going to cost you. And that's what these type of companies end up doing. But at the end of the day, these companies end up going bankrupt. They always do. So how is this going to proceed? I expect these companies to go bankrupt as well. Same as like these Purple Bricks and all these other companies. They'll probably all go bankrupt just like they did last time, like they're doing again now. History repeats itself kind of thing, right? At least it rhymes. All right. Let's jump into the last part here. And this is where I wanted to talk about. Now, this gets about this doctor who is in palliative care. So, the reason why I wanted to bring this up, I was watching our queen today. She got buried today. This is the end of a 10 days in mourning. But the queen could teach us some things. And one of the most powerful books that I had ever read, and I don't even remember the title anymore off the top of my mind. The book was like Deathbed Confessionals. And I know this sounds dark, but it's supposed to give us inspiration. This is why I'm telling you. At the end of your days, they always say, I wish that I spent more time with my family. They never say, I wish I did one more Excel spreadsheet. I just did one more piece of work. Nobody ever wishes for that. So when I'm thinking of the queen, it has to make you feel a bit about your life, right? And how you want to live your life. And so the queen, though, I think I take a lot of lessons to how she lived her life. She also traveled a lot. She got to spend a lot of time with her family, which is great. Also, they give you a lot of clues into wealth building. Of course, we got to take away in the year 1100, they were warring with everyone, killing everyone. Well, let's leave that part out. Okay. I'm just saying their family, though, always had a mind to be building wealth for generations. So much today, we are always trying to think of ourselves like just for me, just next month, not even. If we're very fortunate, you have kids and you can now think about their life. But where the successful people are is they look at very long term. They look at creating generational wealth so that their kids, their grandkids, and multi-generations will have enough income for them. So this is where if you learn about the Japanese way of doing things, their short-term plans are like 20 years. Short-term. In Canada, US, it's like 90 days is short-term. So they think of this massive long-term to be able to pass this wealth through generations. I think there's like 1,000 companies in Japan that are over 100 years old, but there's some of them that are like 1,500 years old and 1,000 years old. Most of them construction companies. All right, so let me jump into this article, you guys, and I want to know what you think about it. So this is a palliative care doctor. And it says, look this up at healthdigest.com. Healthdigest.com. What most people say before they die, and this is what I was thinking of because of the queen today. Most of us are contemplating life and our own mortality. What really matters is the question that all of us want to know. What really matters, of course. If we allow it, death can be our greatest teacher. And she wants to share this with us so that we can live life with no regrets, okay? This is the questions that she always asks. What brings you joy? What is most important to you? If you can answer those two questions, you're going to be able to figure out a lot of different things, right? How am I going to spend my time? Is it my family that's the most important to me? Is it traveling that's the most important to me? Like, what is it? Because that's going to create your foundation of whatever that you want. If you continue on with what she is showing us in this article, she says, these are the regrets. Not spending more time with loved ones, okay, including loved ones that they lost time with because of a trivial disagreement. Number 2, they spent too much time at work. Absolutely. 3, lack of courage to pursue a true life. Pursue a life true to their innermost self, their passions and their desires, rather than living for other people's expectations. So I think that is very key. And so this is part of what we always try to talk about and what we like to teach, right? I don't want you to spend your entire life talking about money and talking about that. I want you to live your life and live your passions that you're absolutely passionate about. I want you to be able to do that. That's amazing, right? But I had some comments that came on here and they were like, David, not everything is about money. And I had to reflect on that a lot. When you reflect on that, it's actually coming from such a privileged, haughty, cocky place to say something like that. If you have many millions and you're super comfortable, of course you can say, David, take the weekend off and play croquet. Of course. If you have a lot of money, money doesn't matter to you, right? But a huge portion of the world, monumental, the majority, are having difficulty paying their rent, difficulty paying for food, difficulty putting their kids through school, putting clothes on their back, paying for electricity. The majority of the world is struggling, and money means everything to them. So here is what I think. If you tell me that money is not the most important thing, you're probably not my target audience. I want you to make money, not so that you can keep making money forever, ever, generational wealth. I want you to live your best life. I want you to enjoy yourself. Guess what? I had cancer, not once, 2 times. I spent my entire childhood thinking I was going to die, watching all my friends die. That's a big deal. Today, I have 2 diseases, not 1, 2, that is ruining my organs on me. Okay. And I still keep doing this. My point is, I want you to get to a point where you create generational wealth. I want you to break free of the system that is enslaving you. I don't want you to be held down, and I want you to do the things you like you're going to do. So I want you, remember what they said, you don't want to work too much. You want to spend time with your loved ones and live your truest self. So all these people who kind of throw some shade on me or leave some stupid comments or something like that, do you think if you leave me a bad comment, you're going to make me feel worse than all the diseases that I've had? You're going to make me feel worse than cancer? You're not going to change anything. Okay. So this is what's kind of crazy. I want you to feel the same way. Don't be shy about what other people are going to say. You know what I mean? Like, just do your thing, because no matter who it is, they're going to say something funky about you. I have done lots of showings before, and I'm like, look at this beautiful kitchen. And they're like, that kitchen is stupid. I hope you die. That's a terrible thing. How dare you tell people that? It doesn't matter what you say. You're going to have a billion people that hate whatever that you're saying anything at all. So you might as well just be true to yourself. You know what I mean? And here we're just trying to help people. And this is what I want for you. Okay. So money is not everything, but if you use money and learn about money, you can get your money to be making money, right? And partner with the government so you're not paying a ton in taxes. Partner with them. Do what they're asking you to do. What are they asking you to do right now? They're asking you not to spend as much money. You keep on raising interest rates, right? When they lower interest rates, they want you to borrow as much as you can. You got to learn how money works and be able to work with the strategies. And you have to be flexible. This is like us when we would go fishing. You know, I got rain gear in the back. I got all kinds of different stuff, right? In case it rains, in case there's wind, in case it gets cold, I got stuff in case. You got to learn how to deal with life in case, financially speaking. So that's what I want for you. Anyway, I'm wondering if you like this type of stuff, because it means a lot to me. Anyway, if you like this type of stuff and if it means something to you, what do you think life is about? Leave a comment for me below. I'd really like to know about it. Remember, I'm always here for you. If this could help even one person that you know, please send it to them. And I'll see you on the next video. Please remember to like and subscribe to this stuff. It really helps me a lot. Hey, Jeremy, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Hope that you're doing good. Tony, how are you? Montreal Services, you're there too. Make money to spend more time with family. Absolutely, man. That's the way it goes. Break from work, break from religion, break from the system. Listen, yeah, a dude guy, you need to break free of the crazy crap that happens in the world, and don't let people tell you what to do. Invest with TJ. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you guys for all the likes today. I really, really appreciate it. Helps out the algorithm a lot. Very sad day that we lost the queen. You know, I know it's 10 days of mourning, but I watched her all today. And God bless the queen. Notice I put up the money here. Do you know what it says there on that money? 20, right? And it says, I promise to pay the bearer on demand 20 pounds. I promise to pay the bearer 20 pounds. Here's the difference. A bill says that you shall pay the bearer on demand. Silver. That's what it used to say. Today, it now says, I promise to pay. Completely different. I promise. That's what the economy is built on, all on a promise, right? But that bill right there says 20 pounds sterling. This is 7 pounds, right? 7 pounds. That says 20. So that bill should have given me 20 pounds or 3 of these. Today, this would cost 6,000 pounds for what 20 pounds was worth back in the day. That's why it's called a British pound sterling. Crazy town, right? Hope that you guys are having a good day. That's wonderful. So, you know what? It's a sad day knowing about the Queen, but listen, they are masters at understanding generational wealth, and they make money over the centuries. Remember, one of the biggest keys, it doesn't matter if you're talking about Rockefeller or who it is, these guys had ideas of having a massive company that's going to dominate for 20 years. Come on. What are we doing here? We're thinking about 90 days down the road, hoping a crypto will go 10x. Come on. We got to think long term. Will they make new bills in Canada without the Queen? Absolutely. Yep. They're going to put King Charles on everything. They're not going to destroy the bills, but all the new bills will have Charles on it. New bills, new coins. Oh, where is it? This is why if you go to any bullion dealers right now, they are selling out of any silver with the Queen on it. Any silver that you can get your hands on that has the Queen on it, gone. All of it. Everybody wants it now, right? Now that she died, right? Any bill will be collectible. Any coin will be collectible because it has the Queen on it. But the Queen is on like billions of coins. So it's not going to keep going, you know? Dude guy, thanks very much for coming on. Thank you for my gift. I really appreciate it. Hope that you have a good night. Things are crazy these days, guys. It's a crazy, crazy world. You guys, do you have any questions for me today about wealth building, about your personal, what you're buying and selling? Guys, it's always the same stuff. I notice I recognize a bunch of your names. If you looked at last week, the U.S. Told us what the CPI was going to be, the inflation rate. The inflation rate is bananas high. Because of that, Sweden now is bringing on the biggest rate hike that they have this century. Also, the United States are going to be slamming on massive rates next week, which means Canada is going to have massive rate hikes next week, which means home prices are going to go bang, 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 and keep falling. Listen, you guys, I told you back in March that the home prices are going to be falling. In April, they're going to be falling. In June, they're going to be falling. In July, I told you they're going to be falling. I tell you all the time they're going to be falling. But all along the way, people are like, no, David, it's not true. No, David, it's not true. No, David, it's not true. Okay. All right. I'm not saying that I'm always right, but I have been right a lot. Despachak. How do I beat inflation? Well, that would be like an 8-hour conversation. You got to short way. We got to make sure that you have gold, silver. You need to have some silver. Where's my gold? You got to buy some gold. If you want to buy some more silver, buy a brick of silver or many of them. You also have to go out and buy some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, invest in education, invest inside of real estate, proper types of real estate. Pam, you said your dad has sheets of 1 and 2s. Would they be worth anything? Probably. You read somewhere that China's interest decreased? Don't really know, man. China's interest may have decreased. It's very, very possible that it went down. I'm not really sure. China is in a lot of trouble, big time trouble. Imagine like 10 hurricanes all landing at one time. They're having a massive population collapse already. There are no babies to take over all the adults. In addition to that, they're having massive food crisis. 66 rivers dried up completely. Their entire real estate market is about to crumble all at the same time. And none of their COVID measures are helping at all. All these hurricanes just into one super max hurricane. Big trouble. Sarah Alexander, how are you? I don't think I've seen you here before. Very welcome. Thanks for coming by. Pam, thanks for coming by as well. Laddie, is now a good time to fix your mortgage rate? I don't know if you guys have been following me for a while, but I was saying last November, December, January, February, March, April, I was saying fix, 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 fix. I fix all of my stuff. If you've gone this far, you got to figure out what your rates are going to be, because today, your rates will probably go up 1.5% from where they are today. We're probably going to get a 0.75% raise this week from the US. We're going to get another one in 6 weeks from Canada, and probably one more by the end of the year. So we're probably going to have a 1.5% raise from here. Then I expect around March, something like that, for the rates to go down. It could be before that. Sarah, you said you watch it all the time, but you never comment. I was watching other videos. Cool. So you watch my stuff all the time. Great. Good stuff. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks very much for coming by. Yeah, Laddie, you were the one that was asking about how do you beat inflation? Is that what you're saying? No. No, you were, it was somebody else. That was a big question to ask. So for me, I wouldn't be locking in my interest rate now. I did it before, but it's up to you. Remember, I'm a real estate broker. I'm a broker. I operate in Ontario. I sell properties. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a mortgage broker. I'm just telling you what I do. Montreal Services, you said, what are your thoughts if China's real estate has a major crash due to the situation? China is going down. I mean, like hard down, like kersplat, like dropping a watermelon off of a building. Okay. They're going to be a lot of problem, and that has contagion, right? There's going to be more problems in a lot of the other markets. A lot. My office is downtown. So my office is at Bay Street and Queens Quay. So in Toronto, Bay Street is kind of like our version of Wall Street. Bay Street runs into the water here, and that's where my office is, Bay Street and Queens Quay. But if you ever want to reach me to sell your property, you can just click the link in my bio and book a time, whatever time that works for you. Find it on my calendar, and you can meet with me on Zoom. We could chat about your home. Laddie, you said fair enough. Good. Thank you so much. Montreal Services will have a major impact on our market. Absolutely. If the entire Chinese market collapses, it's going to have massive implications on Canada. Massive. Almost everything you buy is made in China. Just try to go to a Walmart or anywhere and buy something that is not made in China. Good luck. So as they get hit, we're going to get hit. Big time. Hey, Jeremy, do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you can shoot it up there and ask me too. I had a pen that I was going to demonstrate some stuff for you, but it seems I have misplaced it. Oh, well, we'll have to do it tomorrow. Montreal Services said that's it's what you thought. Thanks again for your time. You're very welcome. Yeah, if China has a massive problem, we're going to have a problem. China is massive in world markets. So is the US, right? Canada is nothing. But it's like, what would happen if the Netherlands or something had a big problem? It wouldn't affect Canada very much. How many things do you find on the shelf that says, made in the Netherlands? Not very much. So a bunch of bike shops are going to have some problems, right? But if everything is made in China, so when there's problems there, it's going to happen here. This Jack, you said you're qualified to buy your third property. Nice. With 40% down, when is a good time to jump in? Really depends on where. If you are going to be buying in a good jurisdiction, then now's a good time. If you were thinking about buying in Toronto, I would wait. Are you in Toronto? This is to Decip Kjat. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. Brampton. Yeah, wait. Don't buy now. Wait until like February, March. Give me a call. I operate in Brampton all the time. We just sold a property up in Brampton. Can you imagine? It went from 1.3 million down to 825,000. 1.3 million down to 825. That is like life savings for somebody for their entire life. And they were just like a 9-to-5 worker, not doing that great. Like that was their retirement. So they're destitute. Like they're so upset by that. So even in Brampton, home prices are dropping massively. So all these things you see on the news that home prices only dropped 0.5%. Don't worry, we're okay, guys. I'm telling you, every single month we're in big trouble here. If you're on the edge where you don't have a lot of equity in your home, you could go underwater pretty quick. This fall is when we're going to be hitting all those trigger rates. Desip Kajat, you're in Brampton. So if you're in Brampton, I operate in Brampton all the time. You can click the link in my bio and book a time for me. But I wouldn't be buying anything until February or March. Don't be buying right now. This is the difference for Desip in Brampton. Every agent that you know, I guarantee you, how many agents do you know? This is my guess. You're going to guess 5. Everyone knows 5 agents, everybody, but everyone has 100 bad stories. And because 99% of agents are not active in the business, they're not regularly working in it. So for you to become a very top couple percenter in the real estate doesn't take a lot. You got to be with people who are knowing the business all the time. Everyone else is always like, yes, January is the best time to buy. Then February is the best time. March is the best time. Every month you're going to talk to them. They're going, it's a great time to buy right now because they got a little bit of like commission need, their rent has got to be paid. So you really need to work with somebody who tells you the real truth, right? And says like, don't buy. I wouldn't be buying now. Yeah, exactly. Desip, he's just saying like everybody wants you to buy now. That's the way the market is. Every agent you're going to run into is always going to say, buy now, buy now, buy now, buy now. 2 years later, now's the best time to buy. 3 years later, now is the best time to buy because they need commission. Here's the deal. The best agent is the one that doesn't need your commission, right? I got a lot of business. I don't need a commission. I say no to tons of people all the time. I had a guy on TikTok the other day that was mad because I didn't want to take his listing. He was very, very rude, by the way. So that's why. Everybody is desperate for commission in this business, real estate agents, the mortgage agents, everybody is desperate for some kind of commission. They want you to buy now, right? That's it. But when you're in that desperate situation, you can take a lot of flack, right? People could treat you terrible. And I'm like, listen, man, I've been doing this for 20 years. I do not need this, right? And that's a very, very freeing thing, right? This is the thing. I got a different way of operating. I expect to treat my clients with the best like white gloves I can. I want to be able to have an entire team, which I do. I have Alexis and I have Glenn and Ray and Tessa. I have all these people who are helping me give like white glove service to my clients. And I know that's going to happen. I'm going to give them better service than anybody that they can get. Plus we have dedicated video editors and advertisers, and we run ads on all the platforms, like very skilled stuff that I know that we can do. And I got to give it to the people who I think deserve it, right? So if I'm going to give this good service, I expect at least not to be yelled at or swore at or whatever, you know what I mean? And I have people that call me up and like, you're going to effing listen to everything I effing have to say. I'm like, whoa, man. No, thank you. Can you imagine if they're that bad on the first couple meetings, how bad they're going to be in the long run? No, thank you. It's like a bad date that you broke up with and they keep sticking around. If you look at long-term, 5, 10, 15 years, history says that real estate will rise again. Absolutely, it will rise again. But it will rise in nominal terms, but not necessarily purchasing power terms. So it's guaranteed to go up nominally. I don't know if it's going to go up with purchase power. So this is the problem, is you guys are weighing that property versus dollars, which are devaluing. Don't ever use dollars as your measuring stick, because dollars are melting. I think of dollars like walking outside with a handful of ice cubes that are melting. Like, how many ice cubes? I don't know, 10. Okay. Half an hour later, they're melting like crazy. And then you're like, how many ice cubes? I guess still 10, but there's way less of them, right? This is the funny thing is my grandfather used to work for $1 a day. My dad started working for $5 a day. I started working for $40 a day. And today we need to make like $200 a day for you to be able to make it. Okay. So what happened? They just kept on printing more and more and more of them. The dollar is disappearing. At the same time, way back when my grandfather was working, he made $5.25 a week. $5 a week. And he had 4 kids. One of them was 4 kids and an adoptive kid. Had his own house, had a car. $5 a week. So what happened? Don't measure it in dollars, measure it in purchasing power and use something different. I always use gold and silver as my measuring stick to see if it's worth it or not. You have to figure out what's the difference between value and purchase price. Here's the problem is many, many, many years ago, everything was cheaper, as were houses. So you can't say that I made money on it if you only kept up with the rate of inflation. If to measure if you made money, you got to go look at M2 money supply, see how much the money was diluted, and see if your home outpaced the dilution of M2 money supply. If you do that, then you made money. If your home only went up 10%, but they printed 14% money, you're still negative 4%. That's why you have to make sure that you're buying the right types of homes, right? Yeah, I don't ever like this using dollars to measure how much something is worth. I think is a fool's errand. I will never do that. They printed like 15% more dollars or 18% more dollars in the system in the past 12 months. Okay. So if their home went up 5%, I'm negative 13. I lost 13%. I can't brag that I lost 13%. Put your money into education. Put your money into your businesses. Yeah, I never used money. I never used dollars as a measuring stick. I should make a whole video about that one day, you guys. Might be able to help you guys out. All right. If that's everything, this is going to be your last call. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to get going. Do you have any other questions I can help you with? Yeah, Montreal services, man. Like I got the way I learned it is from working with people who are worth like 100 million, 500 million. I knew one billionaire, only one. But, they taught me a lot of cool stuff. That's why I've been building this course. I'm going to have a very long course available for you by the end of the year. I've been doing a lot of filming for it. So look out for that. Any other questions before I head off? Jeremy on YouTube, anything? If not, I'm going to jump off. I wish you guys the very, very best. Hope that you keep on doing well. Despajak, nutshell. Where'd you put 400K? This is why I got to make a course for you guys because of how much that question is. That's like a monster question. You got to make sure that you have an emergency fund. Got to make sure that you have an opportunity fund. Both of them filled up. Also have your TFSA filled up. Forget RRSP. Don't fill that up. Then you got to make sure that your RRSP is in long-term, commodity-based, agricultural-based, or metal-based stocks, ETFs, streaming companies, stuff like that. Never sit in cash. Cash is a complete fool's errand. Make sure you stocked up your house on a lot of different stuff. Make sure that you have gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ethereum right now. Plus, you got to put some of your money into education, some of your money into opening a new business. So like I could talk about, I think my chapter on the inflation proof is about an hour and a half long. Yeah, never sit in cash. Cash is the devil. I do not sit in cash ever. My bank account's always going to be less than $1,000. And that's our business accounts. We do not sit in cash ever. Montreal Services, you want to meet all the rich guys? Yeah. Takes a long time to get a really good big group together. All right, you guys. I wish you the very best. Jeremy, thank you very much on YouTube, Montreal Services, and Despocat. When you want to buy a home in February, March, just to send me a message and book a time to talk to me on Zoom. Okay. Wish you guys the very, very best. Nope. The longer courses that I have, the ones on inflation proof, all that's going to be a paid course. It's going to be about a 30-hour course. You got to be able to commit some time to it, but it's the course that took me from zero. I used to be on welfare into being free. Now I have 4 companies. So it's how I did it. And it's all the things I learned from the multimillionaires and billionaires. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Hope that you have a great night. All the very best. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night, everyone. Bye. Bye, Jeremy. Thanks for coming on.